Familiar Wilsons Media. Relationships are the story.
You are made of meat, my friend, all the way down.
The following podcast uses words like and also. If you're not into any of that shit, then now's your chance.
3, 2, 1.
Run.
Super familiar with the Wilsons. Get it!
Welcome to Super Familiar with the Wilsons. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Josh. Amanda, it's been a long week.
It's been Thursday since like Monday. It has been the longest week.
It's weird because earlier in the week, I had said to you, it's been a long week. And you said for you too. And I'm wondering if anyone else out there, have you thought that this week has been particularly longer than any other week? Get in touch, familiarwilsons@gmail.com, because I wonder if it's a global thing.
I mean, everybody I talked to at work expressed how long it has felt. So at least in my sphere, it has been long for everyone. And also, though, for the 18-year-old, because she's going through finals week and it's been super long. So maybe it's just this time of year. School's wrapping up.
Days are longer. We've had the time change. It's true that time does seem to stretch out, or our perception of time seems to stretch out when we experience novelty or anything that taxes our cognition beyond the norm. And maybe that's just this time of year, and I'm just noticing it right now.
Well, I can tell you from an education perspective, once spring break is over, between spring break and the end of school, it feels about 7 months long because there's no break. Everybody's done, but you still have to be at school, and it just goes on and on and on forever.
Yeah, well, is anyone else experiencing this? I'd really like to know. We can make this a little Wilson science experiment. I have a question for you. I went downstairs just now to get some water to come back up so that we can record in this luxurious Wilson studio, and there is a bra just in the garbage.
It broke. I threw it away.
Aren't you supposed to dispose of that sort of thing? Are
you upset that it was on top of the broken eggshells in the egg carton? Because what else do you want me to do with it?
Isn't there supposed to be a separate bag or something for those type of things?
Were your delicate sensibilities offended by seeing the bra in the trash can?
It just surprised me. It's not a thing that I expect. It's just open the trash can. There's a bra.
Well, it broke in the dryer. It can't be fixed. I threw it away.
Okay, well.
I added to the landfill, and I shouldn't have, but I don't know what to do with a broken bra. I can't give it to anybody.
Did you grow up in a house where you would repurpose clothes, T-shirts or whatever, as rags?
Yeah, my dad did for washing the car and stuff, right? Or drying the car.
I will say that I do remember drying the car with old underwear.
No, that's gross. No, T-shirts. Rip them apart so they don't look like what they used to be.
It was clean.
What do you think that you could do with this bra then?
Do we have any use to store two things? Two of anything.
Two things that are delicate that need to be cushioned?
Or it doesn't even have to be that specific usage. Do we have, maybe it could be a tool belt, and I'll keep my screws here and my nuts here. Wait, I'm mixing my euphemisms here. Not what I'm missing.
You can, the cups are rather small. You can use them for your nuts if you want to.
No, not what I meant to say. But yeah, surely that we have use for stuff instead of throwing it away.
You're welcome to get it out and get all the eggshell grossness off of it, but I threw it away.
What if we cut out the cups and use them for something?
No, listen, any woman who's ever bought a bathing suit or a bra with removable cups will tell you what a giant pain in the ass that is. They never
Well, then
go
you're
back
putting them in the wrong place.
Yes. They never go back where they're supposed to. They always fold if they get washed that way. No one likes removable cups. Move along.
Yeah, but I'm not saying. No,
you said remove the cups, and I'm telling you that triggers
separate the cups, and then perhaps we could use it to get stuff out of the oven.
It's not an oven mitt. Okay, the bra is in the trash. It is. I will consult you the next time that an intimate piece of clothing needs to be repurposed, but right now this one lives in the trash.
If our kid is going to play sports, then let's start saving up, especially the ones that are padded. Start saving those up so that he can use them as protection.
When you play soccer or football or whatever you want to call it, do you wear an athletic cup?
I think that you should, and you do. Let's send the used bras to Dan Belson.
with the egg yolks on it. Watch out, Dan. Look for some posts coming at you soon.
We had an alarm adventure this morning.
Oh, Lord.
Just to catch everyone up on what we've already experienced, we went out to walk the dog, and apparently Amanda did not turn the alarm off correctly.
I pushed the buttons with the code. I guess it didn't actually turn it off.
I guess.
The alarm pad is in a different room, and so I didn't, usually it works, and it didn't work today.
We went out front, and the area in front of our house is a couple of undeveloped blocks, so we can walk up and down those blocks and still see our house. So we're walking around with the dog, chatting, having a great old time, being by ourselves for once. And we get back to the house, and the children come running down the stairs. What was that alarm? What was that alarm? There's an alarm that was just going off, and it just stopped. And we figured out that it was our home alarm system that Amanda had not set correctly. So then when we opened the door, the alarm went off. Now, the alarm company sent me a text that there was like, is this alarm for reals, or do you want us to cancel it? Well, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, this was one of those times where both Amanda and I decided, look, we're going to step outside. We don't need our phones. Let's just have a little separation from our phones, have a little moment. We did that, and that experience ended with a sheriff driving up to the house.
Turns out there's a reason why we are all attached to our phones.
Well, I mean, that is the lesson. The lesson that I've learned now is I will never, ever, ever be separate from my phone again. So I had to tell the sheriff, who was really cool about it. I had to say, look, dude, we went out, and my wife doesn't know how to use technology.
Right. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And he was like, oh, that's great. I'm like, do you need to come in and check on something? Because you thought that he had to come in and check the joint out.
My only experience with an alarm going off was that. So when I first moved to Gainesville, it was in 1994, and this was maybe 3 years after the Gainesville murders, which Danny Rolling came through in a horrible killing spree. It's what the movie Scream was based on. If you're not familiar, we did an episode with our friends at Sugar Coated Murder, Ann and Kay, about it. But every new build apartment had panic buttons in the rooms because of this, right? And so I was babysitting, and the kid pushed the panic button. I didn't think to tell the kid, don't push this button. The police showed up. I met them outside and said, oh, I'm so sorry. This is what happened. And they said, okay, but we still have to come in and check. So I assumed that anytime there's an alarm that goes off and you meet them outside and tell them it's fine, that they still have to come in and check to make sure you're not being held hostage and being told to say something. But this guy did not seem to care.
He didn't. He was cool. Although it was weird, between the time that I saw the notification that the authorities had been dispatched and him showing up, like I was like, what do I do? Do I wait for him to knock on the door? That's weird. So what I did was I opened the front door and I sat outside on a chair that was on the front porch and just waited for him. I figured he'd see the door was open. He'd see me sitting there. There's no mystery necessarily. And like I said, he was pretty cool with it. But it is a strange experience to know that the police are coming to your house.
Yeah, but I mean, at least we know our alarm and dispatch system works. Now I'm waiting to see if we get charged for it, because
you mean charged a fee, not charged with a crime.
No, charged a fee for the dispatch. I don't know. We weren't told that we would, but at the school that I used to teach at, we had an alarm system, and you got one free dispatch a month, and then anything after that you had to pay for.
It sounds like a deal that you get. You buy 12 tapes, you get one free alarm dispatch.
Yes.
I wonder what would have happened if we were still out in front of the house, but a couple of blocks away. If we'd have seen the sheriff roll up and walked up, would we have run towards him, or would we have just hung back and said, let's see what happens?
Well, knowing our children are in here, I think we would have probably run. Now, I'm really glad though he didn't come. Well, I don't know. I'm of two minds. I'm glad he didn't come rolling up to the house with the alarms on, with his siren on and lights on. But maybe he should have, because he didn't know what had happened. He just came strolling up.
Here we go.
But could you imagine?
Did you watch him, by the way? Were you watching him?
I saw him pull up. I didn't see him
get out. I mean, he was pretty calm and didn't seem like he was in that much of a hurry. And like I said, my expectation would be he's going to check my ID to see if the address
you really
matches.
belong here.
But I'm just sitting there and I'm like, hey, So either he's a very good judge of character, or at the end of the day, he really, really wasn't enthusiastic about meeting the needs of the homeowners here.
I don't know. But the response time was pretty quick, so I appreciate that.
I don't know. We were walking around for a very long time.
No, it was 6 minutes from the time the alarm went off to the time he got here.
I'm just thinking, we see the sheriff roll up to the house. Am I panicking, or am I thinking, well, we knew it was going to happen at some point?
What?
With the 8-year-old.
One of the children caused mass chaos?
So that was the kids were really stressed out about it. I actually wasn't that stressed out about it.
No, they were. But and then both of our kids are such rule followers that they're just like, are we getting in trouble? And then the 8-year-old was like, the police going to come. We're going to tell them. I don't want them. What are they going to do? We're like, just go upstairs. Everybody go upstairs and we'll deal with it.
That's good. We've taught our children, when the police come, go hide.
That's right. And then we called him back down. Why? He's gone. He's gone. Okay.
Oh, God.
We're training him well for house parties in his teenage years.
That's right.
The police are coming. Everybody scram.
We had a good day yesterday. I wanted to chat a little bit about our first visit to Blaze Pizza.
Yes. So LeBron's restaurant chain, which you avoided for so long because LeBron.
No, that's not why I avoided it. Why are you forgetting the actual reason why I avoided it?
Before the actual thing that happened, you also didn't want to patron LeBron's restaurant.
I mean, I would prefer not to, but AJCW, who is our son Andrew and also a very talented musician, provides some music for this podcast, including the Game Time theme, which is my favorite piece of music. He used to work at Blaze for a long time. I had never visited because LeBron. So one day there was a school fundraiser.
Like a spirit night. Yeah,
like a spirit night. And it was at Blaze. And so I take the 8-year-old, then like 5-year-old or whatever he was. And you weren't there for some reason. I don't remember why. And we're like, we're going to go to Blaze. We're going to see Andrew there as he's working. We're going to eat the pizza, and it's going to be great. Well, we go there, and I've told this story before, so I'm not going to stretch it out. Basically, someone coming out of the door ran me and the 5-year-old over, and I just said, well, forget this. And I was turned off to the experience. And then fast forward to this Saturday, we went to Winthrop soccer game, which they lost again by a lot. And after, our tradition is to go to lunch, with Winthrop and his 2 older brothers, Andrew and Daniel. So we did, and we decided to go to Blaze. Well, loved Blaze.
It was really good. I was surprised.
Was so
pleasantly
good.
Surprised.
Andrew described it to me as the Subway of pizza places.
Fair enough, because it's assembly line.
It is assembly line, but if you're selling, don't say that. If that can't be your pitch.
Winthrop loves Subway, so it was fine for him.
So we go through the first of all, the pizza itself was really, really good. They have a lot of options. I just got a simple cheese and pepperoni and basil pizza.
Mm-hmm. And bacon.
And bacon, that's right. The crust is always my concern, but they did wood fire it.
Yeah.
And it was nice and crispy and delicious. Great.
Yeah.
Also, I got to meet some of Andrew's work friends that he had for years. I mean, he worked there for a long time. And as we're going through, like, I'm quizzing each of them. Do you have a story on Andrew? And of course, they're loving it. And it was just real fun and funny. So all in all, a great experience. I recommend it. Or at the very least, I recommend the Gainesville, Florida.
Right. We can't speak for all the other ones.
Right. But at the end, we were sitting there, and across from us was a table of about 9 college students.
Yeah.
Obnoxiously, when they all got up, they all scraped their chairs across the floor.
I think like one person made that noise, and then they are all like, oh, this is fun, and just kept making it several times.
So incredibly obnoxious.
Yes.
What is wrong with you?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but you put your fingers in your ears
because
you have like sensitivity, right? And so I watched some kid look at you and smirk about it.
I'm glad that I did not know that.
I wasn't going to tell you.
But the weirdest thing, though, is that after they were all done being assholes and getting ready to leave, one of the ones who did it took time to go get a napkin and wipe the table down.
You're conscientious about the table.
Make that make sense.
Right. I can't. I mean, sorry. I thought that was just rhetorical. I didn't know I needed to actually make it make sense because I can't.
I need someone to. That's the person who robs your house but then rakes the leaves before they leave.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. But it was good. You should try Blaze Pizza. Maybe don't sit next to the kids who scrape their chairs on the floor.
Idiots. I think that one of the good things about this podcast is that we wake the world up every now and again to how ridiculous we are as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And we're surrounded by this stuff every day. We're surrounded by things that are just ridiculous that we do, that we take part in, that we have, that if we just stopped and thought about it, we'd be like, why do we do this? And one of them actually is right here on the table.
No, that's mine. Don't take that.
Okay, sparkling water.
I love it with my whole heart. You can't ruin it for me.
Yes, but sparkling water is one of those examples of how, as a species, we have failed.
No, what's wrong with you? I like this.
We took two very free things and we've made it into an expensive luxury item. Water and air. Stuff that's like we cannot help but breathe around us, and then stuff that the clouds ejaculate from themselves whenever they're full.
I don't need you to ever say ejaculate clouds ever again.
But what I'm saying to you is, why have we turned this into a luxury item?
I like it.
But I almost bought some of that. What's that stuff that
Topo Chico, which I really like.
Topo Chico, which I like the bottle, so maybe I'll just buy a bottle and fill it with water and have that be our refillable water. But I picked it up and I'm like, it's like $4, right, for a bottle of Topo Chico or
Yes.
Topo whatever. And I almost got all the way to the register with it. And then I looked at it, I was like, what the hell am I doing right now?
No, the reason you didn't, and first of all, it's not $4, it's like $2 something.
No, it's $3, at least $3, $3 and change.
Okay. The reason why you turned around, you were going to commit to buying it. And the reason why you turned around is because we were in Whole Foods and they have a water ice free cup thing station. And I said to you, would you rather just have water? And so then you realized that was free. So you took it back.
I'm just wondering what amount of marketing and what they've done to convince us that this is worth it. Are they like trying to say that it's artisanal, that like somewhere in Italy, an old man has lovingly handmade these bubbles and placed them in your water? Like, what is happening? Why are we doing this?
I like it because I don't drink soda, right? I don't drink soda, but this satisfies some sort of something. It's just different than regular water. And also this one, though, I didn't realize until we purchased it, is Waterloo, which I like. Waterloo brand sparkling water. It's Guy Fieri's Flavortown version, so he has them for the summer.
You are such a sucker.
Look, it's right there.
You are such a sucker.
I didn't realize it. I got it because it was lemon Italian ice, and that sounded interesting. He had one that was like a spicy mango something or other. I don't know how you make sparkling water spicy.
Yeah,
we didn't get it because you're allergic to mango. Probably no mango actually in there. But now I'm upset that I have Guy Fieri's Flavortown sparkling water in my house.
So you didn't know?
I didn't know until I got
That wasn't
home.
a selling point. Okay,
no, I
got
didn't
it.
know until I got home. I just
All
saw lemon Italian ice, and I thought that was interesting. My favorite one is the limoncello version of LaCroix, because I don't know what it is, but it tastes sweet. There's no sugar, there's no calories, but it tastes sweet. So it's almost like a dessert for me.
It's your mind. It's your mind.
That's fine. My mind is an interesting and confusing place to be.
Then there are other things. I think this whole perpetuation of buying air and water and charging for it, that's bad, right?
Yes.
There's other things that we have and that we do that are just ridiculous. Like this whole idea of ball caps. Have you ever stopped and thought what a ball cap is?
It's a hat that covers your head and keeps it from the sun, and people wear it when they play baseball, which is why it's called ball cap.
It is a miniature awning for your face.
Yes, it protects it from the sun. I don't know what's the problem for you.
Because you were wearing an awning on your head. We need to then now add like drapes so that if you also want it to be dark, you can just close your drapes on your awning.
I'm certain those exist somewhere. Yeah, like the beekeeper's hat, because it has the drapes and it just drops
By
down.
the way, I'm so surprised, especially in Florida, that the beekeeper's hat hasn't become like a normal fashion accessory for people because of all the bugs and the gnats and shit that are all around. Can you imagine? That would be a thing. I think it's ridiculous, but it can be Wilson branded, and we couldn't call it beekeeper's hat. We'd have to call it, Florida fashion wear or something.
Yes.
But that's a thing. Now, that's taking the absurd, but still intensely practical. But I've got a quiz for you based on these, and so it is now game time. That music is by the aforementioned AJCW. Check his work out on Apple, on Spotify, on all the places. Now, Amanda, I'm going to give you a ridiculous description of a common everyday item, and you work out what it's really called. So, for example, if I said tiny personal awnings for our faces, you would say?
Ball cap.
Okay. So you ready? You get it?
Yes.
Really
yes,
easy. All
yes.
right. So your first one, I think, is rather easy. Decorative business nooses.
Neckties.
Neckties. Very good. Next. Intentionally unstable fashion stilts.
Stilettos.
Stilettos, or high heels in general.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you wore high heels? Was it a problem? Did you have to learn how to
I've
walk?
never been good at wearing high heels. Ever. I've never worn stilettos. First of all, I fall just being flat-footed.
That's very true.
Like, I mean, I just am unstable anyway. I mean, I don't mind like a chunky heel or like a character heel, but I don't do stilettos. I don't do it. Go ahead.
Fragile magnifying nose windows.
Okay, well, glasses.
Glasses. Which, by the way, you've gone back now.
I'm so annoyed.
You've gone
I'm
back.
so annoyed.
Why are you annoyed?
And everybody at work is like, did you get new glasses? I'm like, no, I got old. These are readers.
But you wore glasses before you were pregnant. Then you got pregnant and didn't need glasses. But surely you figured that glasses would have to return.
Yeah, I guess it was in my late 30s. So I was wearing glasses and contacts when you and I were dating.
Yes.
Right? We got married when I was like 38.
Right.
And then, yeah, my vision just like in my early 40s just got better. So I've not
Wasn't
needed...
it because of pregnancy, though?
I don't know if it was because of pregnancy, but I have just, for all of my 40s, not needed glasses. Like, my vision's been perfect. And then all of a sudden, I've just am having a headache when I'm looking at the screens at work. And I thought, well, maybe it's just too much like blue light and whatever. But then when I really realized it was because I bought a coloring book. I had been using like a coloring app on my phone to kind of wind down. So I got a real coloring book and couldn't see the lines in it.
Yeah.
And it made me so like I could see the big lines, but not the small lines. And so I have readers at home and readers at work. And it,
Where were we the other day where you determined you needed a third set of readers? Was that in the
we
car?
were at dinner and I couldn't read the menu.
So now you need going out glasses too.
I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed by this.
Do they make contacts for people who need readers?
But that would no. I mean, maybe. But how do you? Because it would be like bifocals, right? Like I would need bifocals that were just like the reading thing and the rest of it was clear because my distance vision is fine.
I don't think it works.
I
that
don't
way.
think that you could do that with contacts.
When I wore contacts, I did this thing because I hated wearing contacts where I would have a contact in one eye. So the uncontacted eye would be for reading or whatever, and then the contacted eye would be for driving a distance.
How did that not make you nauseated?
It didn't make me nauseated, but it was really weird. I never got used to it. But I did try it.
I don't recommend that. Don't do that.
I think people do that, though. I think I got that idea from a person, not that I just thought one day, well, I can't be bothered to put the second lens in. Let's see how it goes.
Well, people also sell water and air, and you don't like that either. So
No.
it doesn't mean you need to do everything. All right, I'm 3 for 3. Go.
Next one. Clothes caves.
Closets? Suitcases? Clothes caves.
Yes.
Washing machine? Dryers?
Pockets.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. I thought the thing that you put the clothes in was the cave. All right.
All right. Portable filing cabinet.
Your phone.
Well, that could be, but that's not what I'm going for.
Briefcase?
Wallet.
Oh, that's good.
Miniature metal shackles voluntarily worn as a public announcement.
A medical alert bracelet?
Miniature metal shackles voluntarily worn as a public announcement.
Wedding rings?
Wedding rings.
That's rude. That's rude.
Wedding rings. Whatever. I always wear my.
I don't wear mine as much as you wear
You
yours
don't
because I cannot sleep in jewelry. I cannot do it. I've never been able to sleep in necklaces, earrings. I can't even sleep in my Fitbit. I try. So I take my ring off at night and sometimes I forget to put it back on.
Sometimes you forget. Interesting. All right, next. Invisible electricity command lever.
Garage door opener?
Light switches.
Oh, okay.
Sacrificial bread ovens.
Toaster oven?
Toasters, yes. Are you marking these down that you're getting
Oh,
right?
I did. Okay, I'm 5 for whatever you've asked me.
Okay. Fancy cloth darkness walls.
Drapes?
Yeah, curtains, yep. Morning screaming machines.
Oh, God, alarm clocks. I hate them with my whole heart.
Do you hate our alarm clock?
Alexa gets so annoyed at me because I tell her to stop so many times. Do you think she would be like, you're not getting up, I'm just going to stop? Like, I'd be like, Alexa, stop. And then I'd tell her 5 minutes and like whatever. You think at some point she'd be like, listen, you're not going to get up, so we're done.
I'm quite certain we're really close to that with AI. I'm quite certain that pretty soon these machines are going to give us input into our lives that we do not want and that we cannot stop.
Yeah.
So they're going to become in-laws. That's like the progression. All right. Mutual micro wrestling to prove that we're not a threat.
Handshakes?
Handshakes, yeah. Tiny rolling thrones.
Strollers?
Strollers.
Yes, because they're all dictators, these children.
Valuable mini pictures of dead people.
Oh, God. Well, money.
Money, that's right. 2 more. Negotiated freedom contracts between humans and canines.
Dog collars?
I'll give you
Dog
that.
tag?
Pet leashes, yeah.
Oh, leashes, okay.
And then lastly, a chain of tiny trophies for remembering where we're allowed to be.
Keys?
Keychains.
Okay, so I got 12. How many did you ask me?
That's 12 out of 17.
All right, so let me
So
do
that's
that math.
is that a C? What is that? A low B?
It's a 70, 71, 71%.
Okay, well, there you go. Good job.
Thanks.
And now it's time for Poetry Corner.
We haven't had a poem in a while.
I know, but you inspired me.
Oh, Lord, I don't want to hear it.
You inspired me because you have purchased...
What? Stop laughing at me. It's not kind.
It is kind. You love it, but you have purchased a laundry hamper that you can carry around on your back.
Oh, my God, I love my backpack hamper so much.
It is the most ridiculous thing.
No, because the laundry room is downstairs. I have always thought people who have a laundry room upstairs and downstairs are very like frou-frou. However, now that I have broken my foot on these damn stairs and you have fallen many times, I can see the appeal to having an upstairs laundry room, right?
I've fallen like twice.
No, friend, you've fallen more than twice. And there's a hole in that wall to prove it that you need to spackle over because you fell into the wall.
There's no fucking hole in the wall. What are you talking about?
Because we have a landing, right?
Right
Like we go
there-
down,
yeah,
there's a
there's
landing.
no
You
hole.
fell into the landing.
There's no hole in
Yes,
the wall.
there is.
Why are you telling lies and damn lies?
No, it's true. Anyway, because I cannot be trusted to go down these stairs holding laundry baskets. I found this wonderful thing at Target where I just carry it on my back, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
All right, so I've written a poem about the feelings that this has given me. Now, this is a special poem filled with imagery, filled with deep felt things, and I only hope that it resonates with you.
You're a listener or me?
With you, Amanda,
Yeah.
the symbolism and all the things. So I'm going to roll this very special mood music by AJCW, by the way,
There you
giving
go.
him. So here we go. It's not a laundry hamper. It's an act of domestic subterfuge. A Trojan horse of cotton and mesh, rolling casually through the hallway, unassuming, innocent. But inside, a calculated archive of compromise. The shirt she wore when she didn't want to talk. The leggings that outlasted a 3-day Zoom meeting. A lone sock retired from its partner like an astronaut who came back changed. She wears it like a pack mule with tenure. She's foraging, not for food, but for signs of innocence. She doesn't carry dirty clothes. She carries the evidence of a life well nested in, cushioned, spilled on, sweat through, lived. It's wearable compromise, an elegant solution to the awkward ballet of domesticity. where the grace is not in the folding, but in the knowing glance over her shoulder, as if to say, I don't need help. I have straps.
This is my backpack. It's surprisingly moving.
Or did you cry? Are you
No,
crying?
I'm not crying. Shut up.
You're crying.
I am not crying. And if I am, I blame perimenopause. It is not me.
Oh, perimenopause. What about perimenopause is causing you to cry at my wonderful poem?
Well, do you know what do you know the difference between perimenopause and menopause?
I just think that this one's a little bit more specific to people called peri. I don't know.
No.
No, perimenopause, I'm not an ignorant idiot. It's the precursor, right? It's the lead up to.
Perimenopause is the transition. Menopause is one day.
Wait,
menopause is defined as 12 months from your last menstrual cycle. It is just the one day. And then everything is postmenopause. So what people have usually called menopause is really perimenopause.
Oh my gosh. So you've already taught me something. I didn't know that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Perimenopause is the transition of everything. It's the fluctuation of hormones. It starts usually in your mid to late 40s.
Right.
Hi, I'm here. But it can happen earlier. It's usually signified by irregular periods, but because I have an IUD, I don't really know. Like I haven't because I have birth control that keeps me from having it. But I have asked ChatGPT to give me perimenopause symptoms men should know about. Right. And it said, absolutely. It's so important for men to understand perimenopause, both to support partners and just to be better humans. So here, what we're going to tell you to be a better human. Okay. Here's a clear and honest list of perimenopause symptoms men should know about. Here are the top ones. Irregular periods, we talked about that. Hot flashes and night sweats.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Sudden intense heat that can cause sweating, flushing, and discomfort, sometimes even during sleep. Sleep problems, difficulty.
Wait, can I ask you questions as we go? So do you actually, when you have these hot flashes, does your temperature go up? If you were to take a thermometer, would you be hotter?
No, I've tried it. No, my temperature doesn't change, but it feels like you're burning from the inside.
So that is the worst, because not only do you feel that, like I can't even benefit from it. Like if we lived in a cold climes, it couldn't be like, well, I'm warmer now, but at least my family is getting a little more, climate control.
I'm so glad we've made this about you already.
Go ahead.
I haven't gotten night sweats yet, but we have been turning the air down lower for nighttime. Okay.
Well, I like that anyway. I enjoy that.
Well, and I read somewhere like the optimal temperature for sleep is between 68 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And we typically
between 60 and 72?
68 and 72.
68.
But we have been keeping it at like 74. So now we're putting it down to like 72 or 70.
Yeah.
Okay. Sleep problems, right? I've always had them, but they're worse. Difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, often tied to night sweats or anxiety. Mine are probably anxiety.
Or the 8-year-old coming in every night. There's that.
He's gotten much better. All right. Mood changes, irritability, sadness, mood swings, and even episodes of rage. It's hormonal, not personal. And like the rage is starting to settle in. I was
Jesus Christ.
On Friday. So I have a really good friend who is also experiencing the same type of perimenopause as I am. I have my Gen X group of friends, and one has already been through it. The rest of them are not quite there yet, but she and I are going through it at the same time. And I texted her and I said, so-and-so's voice makes me angry. It's not just that I don't like their voice. Like I am actually physically angry about this voice. Like rage is now becoming a thing. Brain fog, trouble concentrating, forgetfulness, and feeling mentally fuzzy. I liken it to like that, pregnancy brain fog and new parent brain fog.
Right.
I do have a good friend that is the same age as me, a really good friend from high school, and she and I were talking about it, and she said that she has been promised that it does get better on the other side of it because she is incredibly forgetful too. Now, we both have parents who have had cognitive decline, she and I have, and so we talked about how that makes us really nervous, but she said that she has been told by people who have been through it that it does get better. Decreased libido, we don't need to go into that. dryness and discomfort in other places I don't want to go into. Weight changes. Weight might redistribute, especially around the waist, and it can be harder to lose weight. Yep, high. Fatigue, deep, persistent tiredness, not easily fixed with sleep. And you've said that to me the other day. I am worried about you. You're tired in the mornings, or you seem more tired, and you don't laugh or smile like you used to. Like you don't seem to be finding like joy in life. And my response was just perimenopause is sucking out my soul. So anxiety and panic attacks. Some women experience anxiety or sudden panic that seems to come out of nowhere. Get those anyway. Changes in skin, hair, and nails. Skin might get drier, hair might thin, nails become more brittle. That's happened to me. My nails have always been super strong. They're not anymore. Joint muscle pain. Aches and pains, often mistaken for just getting older, can be hormone related. Headaches. Some women who have never had migraines start getting them. For others, migraines worsen. I've been getting worse ones. Here's a fun one for us. Changes in body odor. Have you noticed that?
No.
Shifts in hormone levels can change natural scent.
Well, your hair smells
smell different? My hair smells different?
Yeah, because you changed your shampoo.
Okay, well, right, okay. And then breast tenderness is a thing. But so here it is, important things that men should understand. It's a physiological process. It's not all in our head. Symptoms can last for years. Perimenopause can stretch. Perimenopause can stretch for 4 to 10 years before full menopause.
What's the medicine? What medicine? Can we go get medicine? Is there medicine?
Support matters is the next one. Understanding, patience, and compassion can make a huge difference. And then open communication, asking how you can help instead of assuming, is key. Then it asked me if I wanted a quick cheat sheet or visual infographic, which I asked it to make, and I'm going to email it to you.
I don't need an infographic.
But then here are some lesser known, unusual perimenopause symptoms that can totally catch people off guard. Here are the ones men and honestly everyone should know about. Burning mouth syndrome. A weird burning, tingling, or numb feeling in the mouth or tongue, sometimes like eating something spicy, but without any food involved. Electric shock sensations, random zaps or jolts under the skin, sometimes right before a hot flash.
Jesus.
Formication. Do you know what formication is?
You better not do that.
That's fornication. This is formication, which is itchy skin.
Oh.
Skin can feel itchy, crawly, or like bugs are under it. Again, hormone shifts affecting the nerves. Gum problems, swollen, bleeding, or sensitive gums without major dental issues. Tinnitus. Ringing in the ears, sudden or worsening ringing, buzzing, or whooshing sounds in the ears. I have been getting more ringing. Dizziness or vertigo, feeling lightheaded, wobbly, or off balance, sometimes mistaken for inner ear issues. Changes in taste or smell. Food might taste weird, metallic, or different than usual. Smells might seem stronger or distorted, which is interesting because I've been much more smell sensitive, and I jokingly said to you I might be pregnant because that was always the tell for me was smells were super bad, but this is just perimenopause. Dry eyes. Eyes can feel gritty, dirty, or watery, and not just from screens. I've been having that. Heart palpitations, having those too. Increased allergies or sensitivity, more sensitive to food, fabrics, or environmental allergens they were fine with before. Bladder problems. Yep. It's like feeling like I just have to pee when they just went. Me, but all the time. Body temperature sensitivity. Can't tolerate cold or heat anymore. Hair growth in new places, like mustaches and things. Weird aches in hands and feet. Depression or grief feelings, even without a clear reason. Someone experienced deep existential sadness or mourning, sometimes tied to hormonal changes or the life stage shift. I walk around Publix crying. Publix just makes me cry. The grocery store makes me cry. Anyway, here's why these things are happening. Hormone fluctuations, especially in estrogen and progesterone swings, affect not just the reproductive system, but the nerves, brain chemistry, muscles, skin, and internal organs too. That's why the symptoms can feel so random and wide-ranging. Now,
can we just go back to all these symptoms or consequences? I feel like the next time we do this podcast, you need to learn to talk quick like they do in those drug commercials.
oh yes.
Because that's what that sounded like to me. That
Side
sounded
effects
like,
include.
yes, absolutely.
Side effects of being a woman include. Okay. I would like, and you asked me where the medicine is. I can tell you that if men went through this and not women, there would be several medicines already developed. Now, it asked me if I wanted a one sentence, super simple version to explain to someone. And it said, I can make a funny one if you want to. So I said, yes, please. So here is my funny one sentence version for you to help you understand the women in your life who might be experiencing perimenopause. Perimenopause is like the chaotic, drunken pre-party where everything's unpredictable. Menopause is when the music stops, the lights come on, and your ovaries ghost you forever.
Bam.
I asked it to do a Shakespearean one for me. Perimenopause is when thine body becometh a theater of most curious humors, sweats, rages, aches. And menopause is when the players all leave, the stage is barren, and thine ovaries retire to a tavern in the next village.
Very well. I don't mind.
I want my ovaries to retire to the tavern. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind that. All right. Well, thank you for that exhaustive overview.
Listen, you can be okay with having to listen to about 5 minutes of content if I have to go through 4 to 8 years of this nonsense. Remember when yes, you are complaining because you were sitting there doing this, like, hurry it up with me. Do you not listen? It's not about you. It's not about how this is like too long for you. I'm going to the tavern with my ovaries.
Okay. I love you.
I did read somewhere that men can help by reminding women to get exercise, to eat better, and to not drink as much. And I will put a foot in your face if you do that to me.
I know. Even I'm smarter than all that. A dude wrote that.
Yes.
A dude wrote that. Well, we had to take about a 20-minute rage break there, and Amanda had to go break a bunch of shit outside. So now we have our letters. Amanda, you ready for this letter? You asked for feedback for our problem with Winthrop.
Yeah. Did somebody give us feedback?
They did. You want to recap really quickly, like what the problem is we wanted to address?
So the problem is that Winthrop is pretty decent at soccer. And last season he was on a pretty good team. He would score goals. Like, he had another little friend, Gunter, we've talked about, who they were a good team together, and he really enjoyed it. This season he's on a team with kids who are younger than him, kids who are less experienced than him, and they don't try. Like, they run around and they're having fun, but they'll stand next to the goal and just watch the ball roll into it. And it's frustrating.
Oh, no. Worse than that. This week, one kid on his team, the ball was rolling towards the goal. The kid ran towards it and stopped it.
And then moved away from it. Like he was setting the golf ball up on the tee for Tiger Woods. That happened twice.
Yes.
And Winthrop's just getting really defeated. Like, he before
Literally
didn't care if they won or lost. Like, he just really had a good time. He would say, it doesn't matter if we win. But now he's starting to really get defeated. And we were talking to him yesterday. He's now starting to have stomach aches as we're going there. He's got some anxiety about it. He still has fun when he's running around. But Josh and I were saying, don't worry about winning. Just have a really good time. And then he said, but can we at least try to win one? And that's so sad to me because he's trying. And all the other parents are like, wow, he's so good. No, he's just trying. And you and I have had this conversation where you say it's just a game, and I say it's not just a game. Whether he wins or loses, that's just a game. But what this is supposed to teach him is working hard for something, being committed to something, teamwork, collaboration, going toward goals. And when you do all those things and you just keep getting beaten down week after week, what that's actually teaching you is it doesn't matter if you try, because you're just not going to succeed.
So Dan Belson has written us.
Oh, good, because Gavin had chimed in, and I was wondering if Dan was ever going to chime in. So my question was, do we keep making him go because we see that he has natural talent? Or do we just say, fine, you don't, this has been a bad experience, we're not going to have you go anymore?
Yeah, so here we go. And by the way, I don't ascribe to that. Like, I want him to keep going because I love that he's getting the exercise. He says this, Wilsons, what are we even doing here? We can't stand by and let your son's talent go to waste. No wonder he says he doesn't want to play when each week his team is on the receiving end of a thrashing. Get him off that team of losers. Get him a trade to a winning team and let him flourish. Call the GMs of the Jaguars, the Goldfish, the Chimpanzees, whatever it takes. Hashtag justice for Winthrop. P.S. Josh, I hope you had a wonderful birthday week like a 16-year-old girl. Warmest regards, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. So here's where I am. We need to look at this league, because this league that he's in is, again, they don't keep standings. They do scores. In the younger ages, they don't even do scores. And we tried this league with Muffy when she was 3, and she got so pissed, and she still talks about it because they weren't supposed to have keepers. Like, people were not even supposed to be near the goal, and somebody like blocked her from kicking, and she is still angry about it 15 years later.
This is very good.
So this league is maybe not the right thing for us. I do want him, because he has natural talent, I do want him to kind of cultivate that a little bit. We're going to take a break for summer. I asked him if Muffy asked him if he wanted to try gymnastics, and he said, no, I don't want to try gymnastics, but I want to do that thing where you jump off of stuff. And she said, parkour? He's like, yeah, I want to do parkour. So we're not going to...
Just like his mom.
Yeah, but you break your feet. They have a ninja class at the local gymnasium, like gymnastics place. So we're going to maybe try ninja class this summer, because one, it'll be indoors and it'll be air conditioned.
We're going to teach our 8-year-old how to silently sneak up on us and kill us in our sleep.
He already knows how to do that. He does it daily anyway. He hasn't brought a ninja star with him yet, but he does know how to sneak up in the middle of the night. Anyway, we're going to go back to soccer in the fall, but we're going to look for a league that is a little bit more structured for him. I don't need him to be in competitive soccer, like super hard competitive soccer, but I do want to have him, get the chance to see if he likes it in a more structured environment. So thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. Anyone else have an opinion? Let us know. familiarwilsons@gmail.com. All right, Amanda, that's all there is. There is no more. I just pray that the rage has dissipated a little bit now. We've had this lovely recording.
I'm just looking lovingly at my Guy Fieri seltzer water, and I'm fine.
Okay, very good.
I might need to put like some whiskey or gin in it, though.
I drank the last of the Jamesons yesterday.
Right. Happy birthday. That was your birthday present.
It was my birthday from Professor O'Malley, so that was good. Professor O'Malley, I got to give him a call. He wants to be on the show, by the way.
Well, yes, but he needs to bring more Jameson when we record. He wants to record in person, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, bring the Jameson, Mike.
All right, we'll have him tonight. All right, so this episode of Super Familiar with the Wilsons was conjured into existence by a consortium of these weird beings and metaphysical anomalies. So you ready?
Yes.
Many thanks to Matt, our chief architect of the infinite staircase that leads to nowhere, to Antonio, the minister of whispered secrets, to Josh Scar, curator of the Museum of Forgotten Things, Danny Buckets, the overseer of eternal rain, Chicken Tom, the ambassador to the Galactic Council of Sentient Poultry, Monique from Germany, the empress of the Clockwork Forest, and of course, thank you to Joey. Thank you to Refined Gay Jeff, designer of the universe's most fabulous black holes, to Mark and Rachel, co-chairs of the Committee of Unexplained Laughter, and of course, Dan and Gavin, joint directors of the Bureau of Unfinished Sentences.
Okay.
Special thanks to the sentient cloud that provided emotional support during recording, and to the invisible orchestra of jellyfish that comprised some of the music. And remember, reality is just a suggestion, not a rule.
Go be kind.
Bye.
Bye.
About the type. The text for this episode appears in Wilson's Bold Breakfast, a typeface rediscovered in 1954 when archaeologists unearthed a cafe menu etched into the walls of an ancient subterranean church. Believed to have originated sometime around 1611, possibly during the Great Pancake Enlightenment, Wilson's Bold Breakfast was initially banned by the Royal Society of Typographic Decency for being too enthusiastic. I have shoes made out of cheese, they make me feel so good. They mold to my feet like good shoes shoulda. They're not made of suede or fine patent leather. They're made of the finest sharp aged cheddar.